Hey guys, Larry here, and for today's video, I want to talk about something that's been happening in the competitive scene for Ultimate. What I'm about to talk about can cause a lot of harm to competitive events. It can not only result in players getting banned from competitive events, but potentially their online Switch accounts getting banned. What I am referring to are the macro mods that have been recently introduced. Some of you might be asking, what is a macro mod and how does it work? Basically, it's a shortcut to doing a series of inputs with only the press of a button. For example, let's take Kazuya's Electric Ring Godfist. Not only do you need to input it in the proper order for this attack to come out, but you also need to do it within a 2-frame window, which can be difficult for a lot of people to do consistently. Of course, if you are able to execute it properly, the results you get are throwing out one of the best attacks in the entire game. With the macro, you simply just need to press one button and it gives you the guaranteed Electric Ring Godfist every time. This isn't like a hitbox controller where doing these inputs are easier due to the button configuration. This is literally being able to execute multiple inputs with just the press of a button. In order to even have this macro set up, you need to have a Switch that's modded. Due to most tournament rules not allowing you to use a controller or some sort of modification that does inputs for you, the macros are banned. So if they're banned, why am I even bringing this up? Well, because regardless of something being banned, it's not going to prevent people from actually using it and trying to get away with abusing it until they're actually caught. From what I've been seeing, more people are developing macros that they can use, and honestly it's making me worried about the inevitability of someone actually using it at a tournament. The most realistic scenario where I see something like this happening is in an online event. I think it will be really hard to figure out if someone is actually using a macro unless you're doing the macro for something that's obviously not humanly possible, such as the Banjo Infinite. But let's take for example, a Kazuya player having a macro for Electric Ring Godfist. I think something like this is much more difficult to detect. From what I've seen, there is a mod that you can use that will show what the physical input someone is actually doing in real time. But my problem with this is that you are relying on someone to be recording or streaming their match and that they have that particular mod that shows whether or not they're cheating. If that's not the case and you suspect someone of foul play, they can easily remove the mod and play normally if a moderator or someone comes to check and see if a player is cheating. Even then, how do you determine if someone is cheating or not in that situation? You ask them to do the input that they did before, and if they mess up, you DQ them? I don't think that is a good solution because that still doesn't really determine if someone cheated or not. The other thing about this mod is that it's apparently safe to use on Elite Smash. So some unsuspecting player could have an unfortunate run-in with someone who is abusing macros and does something that's not humanly possible and cheat their way to get wins. This could seriously ruin someone's online experience more than playing Elite Smash already does. Despite this being safe to use online, I think there's a very good chance that something happens and Nintendo finds a way to determine who is using the mods or not, which can result in the Switch being bricked potentially, and or someone's online account being banned. So that's my understanding of the mod currently. If there is another mod that's out there or something that I don't know about, let me know in the comments. There is another thing that I'm worried about potentially happening, and that is what if someone brings this modded Switch to an offline event and decides to use these mods to cheat their way into winning tournament sets. Something similar has already happened in competitive Melee. I'm not going to go into full detail about it, but if you want to know the full story, check out Awesome Sauce's video on the topic. But long story short, a Pichu player created mods that made Pichu significantly better than he actually is in vanilla Melee, and was able to get away with this for quite some time. These were offline events this player was doing this at, by the way. Events where you pay to enter the event, and depending on how you place, you win money. So it's not like he was cheating with nothing on the line. I have a similar concern with the introduction of macros at events. What if someone starts getting really good results and it turns out that they've been abusing macros this whole time? To be completely honest, I think this is less likely to happen, considering if they did have macros, they would have to be playing on their Switch in order to abuse that. But I still think it's something that someone would go out of their way to try to do. But yeah, an easy solution to prevent this from happening as a tournament organizer is just to make sure that the person you suspect of cheating doesn't play on their Switch or one that is modded with things that you are unaware of. And that is it for me explaining the macro situation that's been happening. Make sure to stay for the rest of the video because I'm going to show you some examples of how ridiculous some of these macros are that people have developed. Reminder to drop a like on the video and sub to my channel if you enjoy the content, it helps me out a lot. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. So here we go, we are going to look at some of these macros, and like I said, some of these are absolutely ridiculous. Like they're just broken, but you know that like an actual human can't do this. So yeah, here we go. Let's check it out. So what I believe is happening here for this macro is the Peach is doing float, unfloat, Z drop, and then catching immediately, and then just repeating that over and over again. And it's just really, really fast. I'm gonna play it. Like look at that. That's there might be someone out there that could do it, but their fingers are probably just like destroyed. Look at that. Look at that. Look how fast you have to be going to do that. That's insane. I need to correct myself because yeah, I don't think anyone could do that. I think it's way too fast. This is the same player like actually performing the mod or performing the macro. Bro. Dude, if I got hit by that on Elite Smash, I'd be mad. I think part of me would laugh, but then part of me would be so upset to get hit by that. I would be so mad. This one is the Banjo Infinite I mentioned, and yeah, if you've never seen it, this is what it looks like. Yeah, you're not realistically doing that. You are not realistically doing that. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way. The inputs are like left, right, something. Like you have to mash left and right like inhumanely fast. There's just no way you're doing that. Okay, so this one is a little scary because it's actually possible for like box users to do this, as well as I'm pretty sure I've seen Riddles do this. So this one's more realistic, I feel like. Maybe not that fast, but I've seen Riddles and box users do it like insanely fast. This is still ridiculous. Like to just, you know, you're getting rid of all the hard work and just like doing it with one simple press of the button. So this one is a video of the creator of the mod actually showing it off. Yeah, he's basically just showcasing that he could just do one input, Electric Wind God Fist. And this is where it gets scary, because like I said, I feel like in this case, it's really hard to determine if someone actually is using the mod or not, because like what's to say that you wouldn't be able to do this normally? That this is where things get really, really scary if you're competing online. You know, like I said, offline, I feel like it's a little bit harder to abuse that. But if you're doing this online, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. I feel really bad for people who are mods and are gonna have to deal with this, because this is rough. Here's another one. The Lucas player was unfortunate enough to run into someone who was using the macro, and well, this happened. And again, this is on Elite Smash. So, like I said in the video earlier, you ruined someone's Elite Smash experience. Look at that. Like, and then they did the forward smash. I mean, yeah. Here's yet another video of someone doing the Banjo macro in doubles. So, like, Banjo players just want to abuse the fact that they can do this infinite with a macro now. It's actually crazy, because most of the clips I've been seeing have been Banjo. It's been Banjo and Kazuya. Of course, you know, the more people utilize the macro, we're probably going to see different things. But I hope not. I hope this doesn't become too big of an issue and that there is a solution found soon. I don't know what the solution is going to be, but yeah, I really hope something is found. And that is it for the video, guys. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a like and sub to the channel. It helps me out immensely. And let me know in the comments what you think of this macro mod and what you think is the best solution to deal with it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.